Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew. Everybody else probably already talked about it. I'm going to give you all my perspective. I'm going to keep it very simple. Terrence Bud Crawford had an exchange with Bomac, the trainer of Errol Spence Jr. We've already seen Derrick James in multiple interviews talk about how this fight's going to play out. I don't know if that is why Crawford felt some type of way, because we've also seen Bomac, the trainer of Terrence Crawford, do the same thing, give his perspective and analysis of how this fight was going to turn out, of course, in favor of Crawford, for Bomac, and for Derrick James in favor of his fighter, Spence. We also know that Derrick James is a former professional boxer. And so I find it intriguing that Terrence Bud Crawford would try to get aggressive with Derrick James. And Derrick James, from what I saw and I observed through body language, he didn't even realize that Terrence Bud Crawford was even trying to have some kind of issue with him. And this is why I think it's more intriguing, because Terrence Bud Crawford knew that the cameras were rolling. What cameras am I referring to? I'm talking about Showtime's cameras. You know, All Access. You know how All Access, the program, All Access, the show that's produced by Showtime, All Access. Yeah, that All Access I'm talking about. They're going to provide footage on both fighters and their camps and all of those things that market and basically promote this fight. Terrence Crawford knew those cameras was on. He knew he was mic'd up. If he didn't have a microphone on, there was one nearby on a camera of Showtime. Bottom line is, what was the purpose of Terrence Crawford having an exchange with Derrick James? And I'm not worrying about Crawford fans criticizing me over this. Let's just be men. Let's be professionals. And let's understand the basics of this. Terrence Bud Crawford did not have that same energy when he saw Spence. I've watched both fighters, Spence and Crawford, their body language, etc., at the last two press conferences. Even during the face-off, I didn't see Terrence Crawford get aggressive with Spence yet. But I see him in this small little video that's been circulating around social media at this point, get aggressive with Derrick James. Derrick James is the trainer of Spence. You know, Crawford is not getting in the ring with Derrick James. Crawford is getting in the ring with Errol Spence. That's the guy he needs to be aggressive with in promotion of this fight. Yeah, the guy he said he's a fan of, him. And that's what we need to see. We need to see the same Terrence Crawford that gave that energy to Derrick James. Yeah. We need to see that Terrence Crawford give that same energy to Spence. Because Derrick James ain't getting in the ring fighting Crawford. Spence is. So what was the point of Crawford, knowing the cameras were rolling, by the way? What was the point of trying to have this exchange with Derrick James? I just find it very, very intriguing. And I don't mind Crawford doing this as long as you're going to keep that same energy with the guy you're going to fight in the ring, not the trainer. Usually in boxing, we see the trainers go back and forth with each other, not the fighter going at a trainer in a physical confrontation or a physical altercation or anything of that nature. You know what I mean? It's unprofessional. And we like to see the two fighters go head to head. You know, outside the ring, you know, sort of like when Terrence Crawford was in a press conference and a face-off with Hank Lundy. Y'all remember that? When they were going back and forth? Y'all remember that? Yeah. And it got a little bit aggressive. Yeah. That's the Crawford we need to see going at Spence, not going at Derrick James. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it. And on top of that, we know the cameras was rolling. And you don't have to take my word for it. When they dropped that first episode of All Access, I'm certainly sure that the footage that's been circulating all around social media and the YouTube box community, we're going to see this whole thing unravel. And I believe Terrence Crawford knew the cameras was on, but only time will tell when the All Access episode 1 or 2 drop, when they start talking about unraveling the details of the press conference.